CSS Speed Art Animation. This series where with the help of HTML and CSS we are going to build the popular characters of movies, anime and video games. This is the third episode, and in this episode we are going to build Minion. And also we are adding that eye blinking animation. Isn't that cute? Without further ado, let's start. Hello and namaste everyone, this is Jitsaru with Coding Design. Welcome to our channel. If you are new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's create a index.html file and let's give this basic HTML code. For the title, let's give Minion CSS Speed Art Animation. As you know, this is the video that is the part of CSS Speed Art Animation series, and in this series I'm not going to explain you each and every lines of code, but I'll be informing you what I'm going to create. So in the index.html file, let's create different body parts of Minion. So for the different parts, I'm creating different sections and I'm giving the class name as the body parts, okay, so that it will be easy to like style with the help of CSS. So there are lots of different body parts again, so I'm creating that. Now with the help of live server, let's open this index.html file in our default browser. As you can see, I have already created the style.css file, and inside the style.css file I have already created the different color variables, and also I have created the radial gradient color. And in order to prevent the browser's default margin and padding, I'm giving margin 0, padding 0, and also box size into border box. And in order to bring the content exactly at the center of your browser, for the body I'm giving some minimum height, and also I'm using flexbox. Now let's link our CSS file. So just below the title tag, let's keep the link to our style.css file. Now let's keep some style for the body of Minion. So for the body, I'm gonna give this hello orange radial gradient color. I'm using their radial gradient color because with the help of that radial gradient color, it will give a kind of a 3D shape. I'm gonna create a rounded shape, so let's give border radius, okay. It's time to create the left and right hand. For the left and right hand, I'm using the same yellow orange radial gradient color. Both the right and left hand, they are at the same position, so let's take it to the proper position. So let's take right hand to the right hand side and left hand to the left hand side. So this is the exact position that I want. It's time to create the eye. So for the eye, first of all, let's give some position. And now let's create the left and right eye. For the left and right eye, I'm giving the white color, and also as you can see, both the left and right eye are at the same position, so let's take it to the proper position. This is the exact position that I want. And also now it's time to create the eyeball for the left and right eye. So for the eyeball, I'm gonna give brown color. And also in order to create a kind of like shiny eyeball, with the help of that after pseudo element, I'm gonna create a small white circle and take it to the proper position, and with the help of that white circle, it will give a kind of a shiny eyeball, which is looking really good. Now it's time to create the glass for the left and right eye. So for the glass, I'm gonna create a kind of light gray color glass. As you can see, both the left and right glass, they are at the same position. So let's take it to the proper position. And also I'm gonna give some shadow at the bottom, which gives a kind of 3D effect. Now it's time to give the rubber band for left and right eyeglass. So I'm gonna create a dark gray color rubber band. As you can see, left rubber band and the right rubber band, they are at the same position. So same thing, let's take it to the proper position. And you can see the sharp edges around that rubber band. So let's give some border radius and let's make it rounded shape. If you have noticed, like this glass and the eye, they are upside. So let's take it a bit down. Okay, now it's much more better. Now let's remove that sharpness of right rubber band. Let's create a mouth. For the mouth, I'm gonna create just a line. Okay, straight line. Let's take it exactly at the center of the minion's body. I'm gonna give extra effect. So when you hover the minion's body, let's change the mouth's height and width. So when you're hovering, in order to get that smoothness, let's give the transition. So now when you take your mouse to the minion's body, you can see you would get a kind of like minions, it is talking to you. So now it's time to create the cloth. Okay, as you can see, minion, it's now naked. So let's give some cloth. For the cloth, I'm gonna create a kind of a jeans. So I'm using the same light blue and dark blue gradient color. So in order to create that stitches around that jeans, I'm gonna use outline and the border. I think it's looking much more better. So now it's time to create the, I don't know what it is called, like I will say that's a thread. Okay, let's create that thread. So both the left and right, they are at the same position. First of all, let's style the left one. Okay, and let's rotate it, and also let's give some shadow so that it will give a kind of 3D effect. And now we'll give the same thing for the right one as well. So this is not the exact angle that I want, so let's change it. Okay, now this is perfect. Now it's time to give the buttons for those two, I don't know, whatever it is called, I'm calling it thread. So let's give that button for that two thread. Okay, so first of all, let's create the button for the left one. And also let's give some yellow border around that button. With the help of box shadow, I'm gonna give next button. Okay, but now you are unable to see that button because they are at the back side. So let's bring it to the front side with the help of G-index. Okay, now you can see that second button as well, and also the first button. So now it's looking much more better. Now it's time to create the left and right pocket. So for the left and right pocket, we'll create a kind of pocket shape. Okay, as you know. And also these two pockets, they are at the same position, or almost they are at the same position. So let's take it to its own position. So with the help of that box shadow, it will give a kind of 3D effect. So I'm giving again box shadow. So yeah, this is the exact position that I want. Now it's time to create the middle pocket. For the middle pocket, let's copy the same code. I'm going to give a bit high width and height. So now it's time to take it to the exactly center of that cloth. So let's take it to the center. and also let's give the black circle shape and white diamond shape at the center of that middle pocket. So with the help of that small circle and the white diamond shape, that will add the small extra detail. Now it's time to create like a, what do you say, let's give this kind of shape, okay. Okay, this is the exact shape that I want to give. Now it's time to give eye blinking effect, okay. So in order to give that animation for the left and right glass with the help of after pseudo element, first of all I'm gonna create that yellow circle. And let's take it to the exactly at the center of that left and right glass. As you can see, it is exactly at the front, so let's take it at the back side. And for the animation, we'll use simple animation. We'll just move that yellow circle up and down. So let's give different keyframes, and I'm using translate Y to move up and down, okay. Now you can see that yellow circle is moving up and down, but it is not perfect. So let's give the purple keyframes and the translate Y value. So yeah, this is perfect, but you can see that yellow color circle, they are visible outside of that left and right glass. So in order to prevent that, let's use the overflow for the left and the right glass. Okay, you can see now the eye blinking effect. As you can see that hand gloves and the leg section, they are complex shape, but with the help of CSS clip path, we could create that kind of shape, but I would say that is a bit time consuming method. Rather, what we can do is that we can take the help of SVG code. But how will you create that SVG code? You can use different tools such as Illustrator, Sketch, or my choice would be like online tool called Figma. So in Figma, what you can do is that you can create that complex shape with the help of pen tool, and at the same time you can get the SVG code. You can copy that SVG code and paste it in the HTML file. But right now I'm using Illustrator, and with the help of Illustrator I did create these two complex shapes, and now I need to export it as SVG file. Okay, this is the SVG code for the hand gloves. So with the help of that SVG code, we'll get this kind of right and left glove shape. As you can see, left glove and the right glove, they are not in the proper position, so let's take it to the proper position, okay. And also let's give the dark gray color. Now it's time to create legs for minion. I'm using the same SVG code. So you can see this is a kind of like complicated shape. Again, it is not at the proper position, so let's bring it downside, okay. So let's give the proper height and width. And for the pant, I'm giving that dark blue color. And for the shoe, let's give dark gray color. Okay, this is exactly what I want. Now it's time to create the shadow for the minion, okay. In order to create the shadow, let's give that black color with some transparent value. And I'm going to take it to the bottom side, okay. As you can see that sharp edges around the shadow, so let's give some blur. So I'm using the filter by pressing F11 key. Let's take it to the full screen. As you can see, when I take my mouse to the minion, it gives a kind of minion that is talking to you, okay. And also after adding that blinking eye effect, doesn't it look cute? Okay, so let me know in the comment box how many of you think like it's a cute animation. So as you can see, with the help of that radial gradient color, with the help of that small details, I'm adding that extra 3D effect. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did learn something, smash that like button. If you have any kind of queries, let me know in the comment box. Share this video if you think someone needs it. And also, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell icon. Remember, there is always more to learn, so keep learning.